and I am bringing to you today an incredibly nostalgic TBR. So 2 days ago or a day ago maybe, I don't know, I was very excited at the time. Elena from Elena Reads Books announced that instead of a second Book Buddyathon this year, we were going to have a new type of readathon, and it was going to be the Bookbusters Readathon. Title sound familiar? Well, if you grew up in the UK during the 80s, I guess, you are probably very familiar with the catchphrase, "Can I have a pee, Bob?" It comes from an old UK game show called Bookbusters, and I, along with everybody else in my family, was obsessed. I will leave Elena's video up above so that you can go and check out all of the rules. We will be playing with a game board which looks quite like the old Blockbusters game board. And as you can see on this game board, there are hexes, and the idea is that you move from one side of the board to the other in a line connecting your hexes. So I am going to show you which hexes I have picked and which books correspond to them. I've given myself fairly readable, easy books for this TBR because I really want to finish the 5 books in a week. After reading it will be really nice to be able to tick off several of them in the month. I know you all feel me on that. So the first hex that I have picked is a new to you author, and I have absolutely loads of books on my shelves that I could have used for this one, but I decided to pick one that I'm really excited about. And that is Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. I sort of had this book on my radar when it first came out and when everybody was chatting about it. And I kind of thought, you know, I might pick that up eventually, but then I saw this absolutely beautiful cover in the bookstore and I nabbed it immediately because it's lovely. I love how classically fantasy it is, but also it's incredibly minimal, and I'm really digging that. This one is about Kelsey Glynn, who is living far away from the monarchy on a little homestead, and one day she discovers that a battalion of troops have been sent out to bring her back home because the king has died and it is time for her to take her rightful place as heir to the kingdom. The problem is that this is an incredibly screwed up kingdom. I think it's described on the back as corrupt and debauched, and she is either going to become the most fearsome ruler that the kingdom has ever seen, or she's going to be dead within the week. I really struggled with picking the next hex along because the bottom of this board was just, it was playing right into my hands, but I finally decided on multiple POVs. And for this one, instead of going the very fantasy traditional route and picking up one with thousands of characters, I decided to pick up a book with 2, and that is All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. This one came out in 2015, but I've only just picked it up, and of course it is YA contemporary, and that is why I've only just picked it up. I have these times when I'm just really in the mood for YA literature and I rattle through loads and loads of books, and then I might not pick it up again for another 2 years. The entire principle of this book, and I have tried to go into it as blind as possible because that seems to be the best way, is that Theodore Fitch wants to take his own life, and Violet Markey is devastated by the death of her sister, I think, and they each meet on top of a very tall building with absolute intentions of being, you know, not on that very tall building anymore. And they change the course of each other's lives. The next hex along was an absolute no-brainer for me, and that is an LGBTQIA+++ main character, and for that one I have picked History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. Yes, I am on a YA kick at the moment. So I don't know what this trend is right now with drowning accidents in YA that I seem to have noticed, but whatever, it's one of my biggest fears. I'll move past it. Griffin's boyfriend Theo died in a drowning accident. In fact, he was his ex-boyfriend and they had a very complicated relationship. But now Griffin is left kind of adrift, pun not intended, and needing to talk to somebody about his grief, but he didn't really intend for it to be his ex-boyfriend's current boyfriend when he died. I've left myself a little bit of wiggle room with the last couple of hexes on the board just in case any of the books that I pick don't work for me, but the next one that I have picked is first in a series, and again I can swap this out with anything depending on my mood because I might be a bit wide out by that point. The next book that I have picked for first in a series is Illuminate by J. Kristoff and Amy Kaufman. Did it without looking. Feel accomplished. This is YA of course, but it is also sci-fi. So as you can see here, it is told in all different formats, and a lot of it is written in conversations and documents. Now again, I've tried to be as blind as possible to this because it is a book with so much hype, but from what I can gather from the back cover, two mega corporations in the future of space travel are warring with each other over this tiny little planet, but this tiny little planet was inhabited. So two of the inhabitants, who are Ezra and Cady, escape the planet on some ships that are leaving, but they get separated, and across all of this, you know, space, they have to get in touch with each other and find out exactly what is really going on. And finally, because first in a series of course leads itself to its natural opposite, I have picked Standalone. And for that one I have picked a book which I am super duper excited for because it includes so many of my favourite components of a thriller. And that is The River at Night by Elena Fenrick. And that is The River at Night by Erica Fenrick. This one is set in the wilderness in the middle of nowhere in Maine. So that is point one. I have a love for a set of physical places where thrillers and other novels, I guess, can be set, and one of them is Maine. I don't know why. It's nothing to do with Stephen King because he's a new find for me. I just like Maine. Maine makes me happy. This one is also about Wynne Allen, who seems to be the kind of protagonist that I'm going to get along with. She's just come out of a horrible divorce and her beloved best friend, her brother, has died, and she just wants to hang out with her three best friends and, you know, chill and maybe grouse a little bit about the hand that fate has dealt her, but no. She has one of those energetic friends who wants to go hiking in the wilderness, in the middle of nowhere, in Maine. And then the third thing that this has going for it is the bit where it says there's no cell signal and something terrible happens. Look how pretty and colourful my TBR looks. And of course, as always, if you have read any of these books and want to tell me how much that you love them or hate them, I'm always up for that discussion in the comments, then please do let me know. And I will see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.